So when news breaks around the National Football League, it always comes back to us. Like, what does it mean for me and my favorite team, the Minnesota Vikings? Well, the Vikings and Kevin O'Connell and Kwesi, they seem very dedicated to Kirk Cousins. But, you want to get nuts? Let's get nuts. Should the Vikings be in on Lamar Jackson? Because at the NFL franchise tag deadline, the Ravens used a non-exclusive franchise tag on Lamar Jackson. Now, non-exclusive means that he can negotiate with other teams, and Lamar Jackson has been representing himself, hasn't been going anywhere with the Ravens. Reportedly, he wants a fully guaranteed deal like Deshaun Watson. Reportedly, he doesn't. Who knows what to believe right now, but either way, Lamar Jackson is going to get paid, and also you look at the contracts for Daniel Jones and Derek Carr and Geno Smith. Yeah, Lamar's certainly going to get his cash, so that's what matters. But since they didn't use the exclusive franchise tag, they get to pay him a little bit less on the tag, $32.41 million. Except he's not going to play on that because a team is going to come in, they're going to negotiate with Lamar, they're going to give him all his money, and then that team will give up 2 first-round picks in exchange for Lamar Jackson. Or a team could come in and just completely destroy, blow the Ravens out of the water with a trade offer, but that remains to be seen. Now, the question is, should the Vikings do it? Should the Vikings be in, man? All right, so yes, the Vikings should find their quarterback in the future. Kirk Cousins is going to be 35 years young in August, but is Lamar Jackson that guy? Like, is the juice worth the squeeze? Because, I mean, there's a lot that comes with Lamar Jackson. Number one, you have to completely change your style of offense, and there hasn't really been a successful receiver with Lamar Jackson in Baltimore, and as well as going back to Louisville, but it's a chicken or the egg situation. Is it because Lamar isn't that accurate of a quarterback, or is it because the receivers in Baltimore have been meh, as well as offense coordinator Greg Roman, maybe not so much, right? That's the whole thing. But Lamar absolutely is dynamic, and again, I blame it more on Greg Roman and the trash-ass Panda receivers, but so it is what it is. And Lamar Jackson is still an absolute dynamic offensive weapon. He's only 26 years young. And so here's the thing. It's, yes, Lamar Jackson is a running quarterback versus a quarterback who can run. Sort of is what it is. But he's 26 and just turned 26 in January. It's not like he's 33, right? So you know what you're getting. Right? So you give him a 4 or 5, maybe 6-year contract, and that's your window. It's like having Lamar Jackson as one of the most dynamic and electric offensive weapons in the National Football League, then you're trying to build around it. Where if you have Lamar Jackson, you have Jefferson, you have TJ, you have KJ, you have running backs TBD, and also you have Darisaw and O'Neal, the best bookend tackles in the game. So you have a chance to be the most dangerous offense in the National Football League over the next 4, 5, 6 years, and hopefully you can hoist that Jerome a couple times in there. That's what you're doing. That's what you're doing, man. 2018, number 32 overall pick. The Ravens trade up to go get him. Remember, the Vikings, the Vikings signed Kirk that offseason, and then they drafted Mike Hughes at 30. Yeah, he's 2019 NFL MVP in the second season in the league. First team All-Pro that year, 2-time Pro Bowler. Career 96.7 passer rating. I actually do think that Lamar as a passer is a little bit underrated. I mean, is he as textbook and by the book as, say Kirk Cousins is, accuracy-wise? No. Will he ever be? Probably not. But does Lamar bring a lot more to the table than Kirk Cousins? Yes, absolutely he does. Plus, I never agreed with the offensive scheme that he was in Baltimore. I just don't. But if you put Lamar in a Philadelphia Eagles, Jalen Hurts type offensive scheme where they use him as a runner, they incorporate a lot of RPOs, which leaves a lot of open throwing lanes and windows, and you really only throw the ball when it's wide open. I mean, come on. So could Kevin O'Connell completely construct the offense around there? Yes. Yes, he could. And the whole, what about Jefferson? Like what would he think? I think that if you sit Jefferson down and you'd be like, hey, we're going to run a similar offense to Philadelphia, and you look how A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith got the ball, we're still going to get you the rock, and Lamar Jackson is going to be that guy, and his running ability is going to make things a lot easier on the offense, so you're still going to get your stats, we're still going to get wins, and you can be a part of potentially one of the greatest offenses in NFL history. That's the selling point. That's the selling point right there, man. Also, his mobility would help out the interior offensive line, where you look at I mean, Lamar Jackson got Ronnie Stanley paid. Like, Ronnie Stanley's always hurt as well as Ronnie Stanley, maybe not so much. But the fact that he was always putting up clean sheets because Lamar could always run out of danger, that's why he got paid, man. But the question is, what happens? What would happen in mechanics-wise if the Vikings did move on for Kirk Cousins and onto Lamar Jackson? Now, I don't think that the Ravens will be in on Kirk Cousins. I think that they certainly could and should be looking for the quarterback of the future. And the thing is, like, Cousins has trade value specifically for the Niners, right? So looking at a potential deal, of course, Kirk finally reunited with Kyle Shanahan, all that stuff. Brock Purdy, his elbow and UCL is shredded. Who knows about Trey Lance, whatever. But trading Kirk to the Niners, even though the Niners, they don't have first-round picks because of the Trey Lance trade. They don't have second-round picks because of the Christian McCaffrey trade, but they do have a lot of compensatory picks. So take all three of the third-round compensatory picks this year as well as the future second, and then sign Lamar to an offer sheet. I mean, yes, Lamar is going to get paid, man. He's going to get more than this. Like, Lamar's probably going to get $45 million a year fully guaranteed. It sort of is what it is. But if the Vikings move Kirk Cousins before the first installment of his roster bonus is due on March 23rd, the Vikings can get Kirk off of the salary cap. They could put Lamar on. They could structure it so everything works out. And then sign Lamar to the offer sheet, give up 2 first-rounders for Lamar, including 23. Now, they could potentially wait until after the draft and then sign him to an offer sheet, which means that the 2024 and 2025 would be the first-round picks, but also the fact that the Vikings would have to trade Kirk before March 23rd, they could leave them hanging out in the wind, where they could have an agreement in principle with Lamar, but if they can't make it official, they would have a month and a half where they just don't have a quarterback. Not ready to gamble with that, man. But like I said, this is probably extremely far-fetched. But Lamar is going to get paid out there, whether it's Atlanta or the Commies or the Panthers or the Buccaneers or whoever. Someone is going to come for Lamar Jackson. He's going to get paid. The Ravens are going to get their 2 first-round picks, and we'll go from there. But I mean, it's a fun notion, and I understand that Lamar Jackson is never going to be the pinpoint accurate passer that Kirk Cousins is, but just as an absolute force of nature and dynamic weapon, and a guy who has been the NFL MVP and consistently is playing in that category. Again, I understand, like, this would be a 4 or 5 year thing. Like, once Lamar Jackson hits 31, 32 and starts slowing down, he's not going to be that same guy, but he still is dynamic and electric and would just be, would be a ton of fun, man. But who knows? Anyways, your thoughts are thoughts. Vikings should be on Lamar Jackson. Let us know your thoughts and our thoughts in the comment section below. Subscribe for daily Vikings takes. Want to support the work? Put a little something in the Venmo. But till next time, Skull Production Value.